I think we start by saying that Mandy and I, when we bring up the press, we are not saying that we're the only ones who can and should cover the story. We want more coverage. We are applying the same level of criticism or questioning to our colleagues that we do to the elected officials and public officials that we cover as well. And we believe in that. We believe that if media can give it, media should be able to get it as well. And that was not our experience when we worked for a major media company. We're supposed to go ask people questions that could ruin their lives, but not of our bosses or the people that ran the company. So I just want to put that out there before we have the discussion, because I feel like there are journalists, especially, or reporters, that's where they go. You know, Mandy and Liz are criticizing the media because they think that this is their story. No, we want you to cover it. We just want you to do it better.
Right. So, like, the initial reporting on Scott Spivey's death was very basic and from the police angle, correct, Liz?
Yeah, and it's not, here's the issue, I think. When Mandy and I worked for the Island Packet, we came in after decades of that newspaper teaching local law enforcement what freedom of information is and transparency and what it looks like and holding them accountable. So not to say we didn't have our issues there. There were 2 local agencies that were very difficult to get information from. But because we had an agency that valued that they learned from us and we learned from them kind of thing. So like we knew how far we could push them. We knew that they could be responsive. I think the problem in Myrtle Beach is that they have had, since this agency has existed in 1959 and the paper came about, this particular police department has been well known for their lack of transparency and their lack of adherence to FOIA laws. So it would require a beefy lawyer to come in, and there have been over the years, to get Horry County to comply. But this is an agency that knew it could get away with it and didn't seem to care about any criticism for the paper. So they were in a bad position in September 2023. I think the reporters had inside sources and such, but they did not have an agency that cared whether or not you told the public that they were hiding things. So the paper did tell the public that they were hiding things. They did say that the police refused to give over the shooters' names, which is unusual. They did say, eventually said that Scott's body was towed. They were just given very little information.
And that had been cause for them to question.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But the issue is that they dropped it. So once it came out that SLED and the AG's office were being called upon, you know, it just was left out there pretty much until April 2024. And I think they did a big story, and I forgot when, if it was possibly in October, I forget. They did ask questions, the main newspaper there, but it didn't go anywhere. And that's because there is no fear. That police department had no fear of bad press.
Yeah, and it's very evident with the press conferences that they've covered in the last couple weeks. You can just see that Horry County knows how to spin a narrative, push it out, and the majority of media outlets will go with that narrative. Yeah. Case in point, this week, they put out they had the press conference that was about these mislabeled videos and their fake investigation. So it's just a big mess in Horry County, and Liz made a great point this week, and we've dealt with enough police departments in our careers to know which ones are like afraid of the local press, and Horry County is absolutely not afraid of their local press. You can just see, because they lie. They lie, they don't get called out on it, they spin narratives, and they don't get pushback. And with this case, the press is covering it, but we've just seen a lot of just, again, dancing around the truth and not getting to the heart of it. Not saying, Horry County Police lied, and Horry County Police continues to try to cover up this major failure in their agency. Instead, they say things like, Horry County admits to mislabeling videos, because what that does is give them an excuse, and it softens the blow just a little bit.
It makes them seem honest. If you admit something, you're being honest. But the point is that they're saying they mislabeled it. We don't know if they did. We're saying that's what they're saying.
Did Jennifer ever go to the FBI when she was not getting redress from the local law enforcement, local prosecutors, SLED, or anything? Is that something that we should do more often? Go to the FBI?
I love this question. So yes, the FBI was engaged before Horry County Police Department even knew what Jennifer had found in those files in the investigation. When she found them, that's what her and her attorney did. Then they updated Horry County, let them know that this isn't going away. So when Horry County Police Department came out to announce that, they didn't announce that their number 2 guy had resigned. They announced that they were reopening the case and that they had asked the FBI and SLED to get involved. They were taking credit for something that Jennifer and her attorney had already done. Now, that could be by accident. Maybe they didn't know that. So there was a distinction that was made because the way it was presented by Horry County Police Department was that the FBI was already on the case. I think that was sort of the inference that everyone made. But truth be told, they weren't. So they were looking to see if it qualified. Obviously, like the shooting part of it, the state of South Carolina should be able to handle it. Their statutes, it happened within the borders of their state. So there might not be something for the FBI to look at there.
Oh, yes, there is. There's civil rights violations by potential police officers.
Well, that would be nice. Okay. Let's talk about that.
You have civil rights violations.
Right. So maybe they still will. I don't know. I'm wholly unimpressed right now. So Mandy last week had written, just telling local press, like, come on, let's not use soft words to describe what happened here, because your job is not to help the police. You are not there to do their public relations. And a reporter responded to it. And he was really snarky, which I appreciate, of course, but basically saying she doesn't have a right, like, she shouldn't be bringing this up in this context. Like, we don't do this. Like, we don't call each other out publicly.
Right.
It's that southern.
You're supposed to stick together. You're supposed to stick together like lawyers are supposed to stick together.
Right. And so that's, yeah, exactly.
You broke the code.
You broke the code. That's exactly the perfect way to put it. You broke the code. And I think that comes back to where we're at now with the muddy situation, in that somebody's got to break the code. And they're all afraid to break the code right now. So Henry McMaster has been asked twice now to appoint a special prosecutor. To do that is to acknowledge that there were failures by SLED, AG's office, Horry County Police, and the 15th Circuit Solicitor's Office, right? Got to break that code, right? No, he's going to wait and see. He has golf tournaments he's got to go to. The SLED is investigating the police misconduct. So they're looking into Brandon Strickland and Vescovi, and then the 3 other officers, apparently, who are at least 3 others that are involved. But to say that we're going to look at the murder case is acknowledging that the AG's office did not look at things carefully, and that SLED did not do their job, and that Horry County didn't do their job, and that so no one's done it yet. And I think the FBI is complicit.
In Horry County, not just the Horry County law enforcement, the solicitor's office could have taken this case to a grand jury.
He didn't, because he was on the phone with Brandon Strickland the night of the killing, telling him, I'll send a guy. Yeah, right. I'll send a guy.
I mean,
it's dirty.
It's
real dirty.
Really dirty. And the most frustrating part is that we expose these horrific things that just make everybody's jaws drop to the floor. Like, oh my God, I did not realize that it could get this bad.
I didn't realize it was that bad until I listened to your episode, and Renee was listening to it too. And I'm telling you, man, it rocked me to the core. It really did. I didn't know those facts.
It's bad. Like, it's a really, really bad situation. But the worst part of it is that we still, at this point, don't have a single public official stepping up and saying, I'm going to take charge of this. I am going to right the wrongs. We're in charge here. We're going to do this. It's been really encouraging watching Facebook in the last week and a half, because the people of Horry County are being so pesky and are being so loud and are not letting anything go.